Hi my beautiful friends. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I'm really happy you stopped by. Today's talk is very special and important to me because we're going to talk about something every person learning English has thought about: how to speak English by yourself at home. Yes, you heard right. Now, you might be thinking, wait, how can I speak English if there's no one to talk to? I know exactly how that feels. That was me too. I really wanted to speak English well, to sound sure, smooth, and natural. But my biggest problem was having no one to talk with. I was just a kid in my room trying to talk to myself and sound like someone who speaks English. It felt strange, awkward, and sometimes even funny. But guess what? Speaking English alone at home really works, and it works a lot if you do it the right way and believe in it. You will start thinking in English, even dreaming in English, and speaking smoothly before you even know it. So, get your favorite drink, make yourself comfy, and listen carefully. I'm going to share everything I know, the ways I learned, the mistakes I made, and the small wins I had. By the end of this talk, you'll feel ready to start your own English journey from your own room. Let's get started. So, how do you speak English when you are by yourself? First, you stop waiting for someone to talk with. Seriously. You don't need a partner, you don't need someone who speaks English perfectly, and you definitely don't need to move to a place where people speak English. What you need is just you, your voice, and being okay with sounding a little silly at first. That's how I started. I remember one day I stood in front of the looking glass and said, "Hi, my name is Lily. I like apples." That was it. That was my big start. It was short, a bit strange, and honestly, I laughed at myself right after I said it. But I kept doing it every day. I added a little more. I started saying what I was doing, like, I am washing my hands, I am drinking water, I am sitting on the chair, I feel happy, I want to read a book. Simple, right? But that's where the magic is. That's where you start to feel sure. Think about when you were a baby. You learned your first language by hearing simple words over and over, not by learning rules or big lists of words. Just simple words repeated every day. That's what you need to make for yourself at home. Here's what helped me a lot. I made my room my own English world. How? I started talking to myself all the time, really, all the time. If I was cooking, I'd say, I'm cutting onions. I like the smell. If I looked out the window, I'd say, wow, the sky is blue today. Or I'd just talk about my day. Today I felt tired, but now I want to do something, so I'm making this video about English. See what I'm doing? I'm turning normal thoughts into English sentences. And trust me, I didn't use hard words. I didn't worry about rules at the start. I just wanted to speak, and that's something I want you to really understand. Don't try to be perfect with your rules. Try to speak for real. You will learn the rules as you go, but if you don't speak, nothing will get better. One good habit I made is something I called my English thinking walk. Every evening, I'd go for a short walk around my house and talk to myself in English. Not loudly, of course. Sometimes I just whispered, sometimes I moved my lips without making a sound, but I kept making English sentences in my head, and it changed everything. I started feeling good with English. It became like a friend, not a scary school subject, not something that would judge me, just a friend I talk to every day. Now, let's talk about using a looking glass. It's the best free-speaking friend in the world. Your looking glass doesn't judge you, it doesn't tell you you're wrong, it just shows you yourself, and that's all you need. When you look in the looking glass and speak, you see how your body moves, your face looks, and how your voice sounds. That's what talking for real is all about. So, here's what I used to do. Every night, I'd stand in front of my looking glass and speak for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. Sometimes I'd talk about my day. Today was slow. I woke up late. I didn't do anything special, but I feel okay. Maybe tomorrow I will do something better. Sometimes I'd talk about my dreams. I want to visit Paris. I want to talk to people from other countries. I want to work in a place where English is important. I believe one day I can do it. This little habit made me feel sure, not perfect, just sure, and feeling sure is more important than being perfect. Another way I want to share is called copying. Have you heard of it? Copying is like repeating someone's voice at the same time as they are talking. You take a video, maybe a part of a movie or a talk online, and you say what they say almost at the same time. You copy how their voice goes up and down, their style, when they stop for a moment. It's like being their shadow. This is very helpful because you start to sound like people who speak English naturally without trying too hard. You learn how real English feels, and once you feel it, you can speak it. I used to copy my favorite English video makers. I'd listen to them, stop after each sentence, and say it out loud. Sometimes I'd even record myself and see how it sounded compared to them. It was fun, and honestly, sometimes funny, but it helped me train my tongue, my ears, and my mind to work together. Now, let's talk about one more good way, making your own English diary, but speaking it. Yes, a spoken diary. Every night, I'd take my phone, open the voice recorder, and talk for 2 or 3 minutes in English. I'd talk about my day, how I felt, what I ate, what made me happy, what made me sad. I felt lonely today, but I tried to be happy. I watched a funny video, it made me laugh. I didn't do much, but I'm thankful for this quiet day. And I never showed it to anyone. It was just for me, my English voice. And over time, I saw how my confidence grew. Here's a fun idea you can try, pretend phone calls. I used to pretend I was on a phone call with a friend. I'd walk around the room and say things like, "Hi, how are you?" "Oh, really? That's great. I watched a movie last night, it was so good." "Okay, talk to you later. Bye." It sounds silly, but it's great for learning how to talk smoothly. You're practicing real conversation, the kind that happens in life. Now, let's be honest. You might feel shy doing all this. You might feel strange talking to yourself. But please remember this, you are not doing anything wrong. You are growing. Every big thing starts small, and speaking English at home is the most helpful small habit you can build. No one is watching you, no one is judging you. Use that privacy to make your voice stronger. And if you ever feel stuck, just say this to yourself, I don't need to be perfect, I just need to keep going, because speaking well comes from doing it regularly, not from being naturally good at it. Let me share something personal with you. The reason I learned to speak English wasn't because I was smart. It was because I did something in English every day, even if it was just 5 sentences. I didn't study big books of rules for hours. I didn't try to learn 100 new words every day. I just spoke again and again. So now, my dear friend, Here's what I want you to do after watching this. Choose one way and start today. Talk to yourself in the looking glass, record your voice, walk and think in English, pretend you're calling someone. It doesn't matter what you choose, just do it. Because your room, your home, your space can become your own English-speaking place. And don't forget to be happy about your small wins. When you make your first sentence without thinking in your own language, smile. When you speak for 1 full minute without stopping, do a little dance. When you hear yourself sounding natural, say, yes. I'm getting better. Oh, and I'm not finished yet. There are so many more ways to make your home a place where you can play with English. Let me share some extra tricks I've used and still use to keep my practice new, fun, and very helpful. First, put labels on things around you. Get some small sticky papers and write the names of everything: looking glass, door, pillow, computer, toothbrush. Stick them on each thing, and every time you touch it, say the word out loud in English. Door, I open the door. This simple habit helps you learn words in a real way, and soon your brain will remember the English word whenever you see the thing. Next, try reading out loud. Choose a short part from a book or something online and read it out loud. Feel free to make your voice sound interesting, change how you say things, even act out the people in the story. This makes your mouth muscles stronger for English sounds and teaches your mouth to make English sounds more naturally. If you have trouble with a word, say it slowly, sound it out, and then say the whole sentence again. Doing this regularly will make your speaking smoother and clearer. Now, let's make video summaries. Watch a short video, maybe how to cook something, a trip video, or a short talk online. Then stop the video and tell everything you just saw in English, using full sentences. The cook added 2 eggs to the bowl. Then she mixed them until they were light and fluffy. This practice helps you listen and speak at the same time, and it builds the habit of thinking in English. Don't forget to describe pictures. Open a website with pictures, choose one, and spend 2 minutes saying everything you see. In this picture, I see a woman wearing a red coat. She is standing under a tree with yellow leaves. It looks like fall. She's smiling and holding a cup of coffee. The more you do this, the easier it becomes to make sentences quickly. One of my favorites is acting out situations. Pretend you're at a job interview, ordering food at a restaurant, or booking a room at a hotel. Walk around the room and speak as if there's a real person talking to you. Hello, I'd like to book a room for 2 nights, please. Then change roles. Sure, can I have your name and when you will arrive? This helps you learn how to speak in real-life situations and gets you ready for real conversations. You can also record talks with yourself. Write a short script, maybe 5 lines for person A and 5 lines for person B. Then record yourself saying both parts. Try to change your voice for each person. Play it back and see where you can make your voice sound more natural. It's like having a playdate with your own English-speaking self. If you're feeling brave, try learning about different English sounds. Choose a way people speak English, like American, British, or Australian, and try to copy how someone who speaks that way talks. Watch talks or interviews with people who have that accent, stop the video, and say what they said. Don't try to be perfect. This is about training your ear to hear different sounds and rhythms of English. After some time, you will find your own way of speaking English. Here's a fun thing to try: make short talks. Pick any topic you like, your favorite movie, a trip you dream of, something you love to do. Speak without stopping for 1 minute. Don't write anything down first, just let your thoughts come out in English. You might stop sometimes, or say, but that's okay. Those pauses are what you need to practice next. If you like using phone programs, look for ones that give you speaking ideas. Many of them ask you random questions like, what would you do if you had a lot of money? Answer right away, record yourself, and listen back. It's like quickly trying out different English topics, and it helps you speak without planning too much. To push yourself, try a 30-day speaking challenge. Day 1, say who you are in English for 1 minute. Day 2, talk about what you ate for breakfast. Day 3, tell a story about a happy memory from when you were a kid. By day 30, you will have spoken for more than 1 hour in total, and that's a big step. Even though you are practicing alone, you can still find groups online where people talk. There are voice chat rooms where people practice languages using only sound. Listen, speak, laugh, and learn from real people, but from your own home. Another helpful thing is to keep a list of mistakes. Get a small notebook or use the notes on your phone to write down mistakes you hear yourself make when you practice. Maybe you often mix up give and take, or you have trouble saying the th sound. Each week, look at your list and practice those things until they become easy for you. To think faster in English, imagine an English movie playing in your head. Picture everyday things like walking to the kitchen, making a drink, looking at your phone. Then say what you are seeing in English as it happens. This teaches you to think in English and stops you from having to translate in your head. If you love music, this is for you. Sing English songs, then explain what the words mean in your own way. Pick a song you like, learn the main part, then sing it out loud. After, talk about what the song means to you and how it makes you feel. It's a fun way to practice speaking. If you like to see things in your mind, draw a picture in your head of a topic, like my future plans. Then draw lines to other ideas like work, travel, hobbies. Then talk about each idea. For work, you could say, I see myself working with computers. I like making things look good. Saying your thoughts out loud after seeing them helps you put your ideas together and speak more smoothly. Want to feel like someone who makes videos? Make your own small talking show. Choose a topic like books, movies, or cooking tips and record yourself. Pretend you have people listening, ask yourself questions, share advice. When you listen back, you'll be surprised at how natural your English sounds, and you'll see exactly what you need to work on. If you like to imagine things, here's a big one. Plan your dream trip in English. Learn about a city, like Rome, then say what you will do each day. On day 1, I will visit the Colosseum. I want to see where the old fighters were. Then I'll eat pizza for lunch. The more details you add, the more words and ways of saying things you practice. You can also write a short story, just one part, then put it away and try to say it again from memory. This connects writing and speaking and helps you remember new phrases. Finally, imagine you are a teacher and you need to teach English to someone who doesn't know it. Explain a simple rule, like how to use is and are. Say out loud, we use is when there is one thing, for example, the cat is sleeping. We use are when there are many things, for example, the cats are sleeping. Teaching is a great way to learn, and this makes you both the student and the teacher. All of these extra ideas are about being creative with your alone practice. If you use your time by yourself with curiosity and fun, you will always have something to say. Your room becomes your stage, your looking glass your audience. Before we finish, I want to share some ideas about how to think and how to see your progress. These will help your solo speaking practice become a habit and something you can do for your whole life. First, let's talk about how you think. The biggest problem for most learners is not how to say words or knowing enough words. It's the voice in their head that says, I can't do this, or I sound silly, or I'll never be as good as someone who speaks English from birth. When that voice comes, I want you to stop and say to yourself, thank you for telling me that, but I am going to try anyway. Because every time you push past that little bit of fear, you are teaching your brain to see how you are getting better instead of just seeing problems. One helpful trick is to make a small routine before you start speaking. Think of it like a little cheer for yourself before you record or start talking to your looking glass. I always do 3 things. I take a deep breath, I smile at myself, even if I don't feel like it at first, and I remind myself of one small thing I did well yesterday. It could be as small as, yesterday, I spoke for a whole minute without stopping to think. That small reminder gives me courage for today. Next, you need to see how you are getting better. When you practice alone, it's easy to feel like you are making the same mistakes over and over. So, I suggest keeping a simple list of your voice practice. You can use a computer sheet or just a notebook. Every time you record yourself, whether it's your spoken diary, a copying exercise, or a small talking show, write down the date, how long you spoke, and 3 things. 1 thing you did well, 1 thing you want to get better at, and 1 new word or phrase you used. Over time, you will look back and see that the things you want to improve become fewer, and the things you did well become longer. That's how you see your progress. Now, let's talk about sharing your solo talks with others, but only when you feel ready. Showing your recordings to a friendly group online or even just sending voice messages to a good friend can make you feel much more sure of yourself. You might be very scared at first, but I promise that most people will encourage you, and hearing kind words can help you grow more than just finding your own mistakes. Another helpful way to learn deeply is to map out questions and answers. Here's how it works. On one side of a paper, write down 10 common questions people might ask you in English. What do you do on weekends? What is your biggest dream? Why do you want to learn English? On the other side, write short answers for each question. Then practice saying those answers out loud in order without looking at your notes. This method teaches you to quickly find your ideas in English, just like in a real talk. For a fun twist, try acting out talks where you speak one language and the other person speaks another. Instead of playing both people in English, you play one person in English and the other in your own language. For example, pretend you are asking yourself questions in your language, then answer in English. Then switch, ask in English and answer in your language. This back and forth makes your translation skills better and builds a bridge between your 2 languages, making it easier to switch to English when you need to. Let's talk about copying more advanced speakers. Once you feel okay with basic copying, start trying different speeds. Choose a short video and copy it at normal speed, then at a slower speed to really focus on how they say the words, then at a faster speed to challenge your brain to keep up. This not only makes your speaking clearer but also trains your brain to understand faster, more natural English. If you love stories, make a story time for yourself. Pick a simple story in English, something you can find easily online. Read it once, then close it and try to tell the whole story in your own words. Then read it again and see how your story was different. This helps you tell a story smoothly and connect ideas with good language. Soon, you'll find you can tell your own stories about trips, celebrations, or everyday things just as easily. One thing many learners forget is how helpful it is to listen to yourself on purpose. Whenever you play back a recording, don't just listen to how you say the words. Listen for the rhythm, which words you stress, and how the words connect. These small things make speech sound smooth. Mark the times where you stop for too long, where your voice sounds flat, or where you hesitate. Then choose one small thing to work on next time. Maybe it's trying to make your voice go up at the end of questions or learning to connect words like going to becomes gonna. Small improvements add up. Now, I want to challenge you with an English day at home. Pick one day or even half a day each week where you only speak English. That means saying what you are doing while cooking, I'm adding salt, writing messages to yourself in English, thinking in English, even singing along. It might feel hard, but it's like taking a short trip to an English-speaking place without leaving your room. You'll come out of it feeling energized and knowing new phrases. Finally, let's talk about celebrating your wins. Every step you take, whether it's your first 5-minute diary, your first time copying a fast speaker well, or your first time sharing your voice online, deserves a reward. I treat myself to something small, like a special drink, a favorite snack, or a short break to watch an English show with subtitles. These happy rewards make you want to keep going. So, my dear friend, with all these ways to practice fun acting, advanced copying, story times, English days, seeing your progress, and celebrating, you have more than enough to fill your days, weeks, and months with confident English speaking. Remember, the most important thing is to do it regularly and be kind to yourself. Every time you choose to speak English, you are making your future better, where language is not a wall but a way to new friends and experiences. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you feel excited and ready to speak English alone at home like never before. If you have tried any of these ideas, please tell me in the comments which one was your favorite or which one you want to start today. And of course, if this talk was helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive, where we'll share some of your stories and answer your top questions about practicing English alone.